Hey all, it's Damira here. Welcome back to my channel if you've joined me before, and if you're new, I hope that this is for you. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you a book-inspired coffee bar because it is National Book Lovers Day. Before we get started, I encourage you to subscribe to the Millennial Farmhouse. I like to share cleaning videos, coffee bars, and seasonal decorating. As I've mentioned before, it has been my goal this year to decorate the coffee bar for one holiday each month. Now, August doesn't have any official holidays, but there are days that we observe, and August 9th is National Book Lovers Day. When I was a child, I absolutely loved reading, and no matter where I was, I always had a book on hand. As I've gotten older, some of my reading has slowed because I might not have time or I'm always working, but I've never lost my joy for reading. Most of the time I find myself going back to the same books that I've read over and over again because those comforts can make all the difference. It was a no-brainer to decide to add some book-inspired decor to my coffee bar. I'm starting on this top shelf here, and I have my espresso maker as well as my French vanilla syrup. I put down a little Lazy Susan tray, and then I added in a black book box. That box came from the at-home store. I also have a tiny statue that's a person reading a book. I got that from Amazon. I thought it was so cute and so perfect for this coffee bar. I definitely play around with the placement a lot throughout this video, but I started by putting two mugs on the top shelf. I have a black and white floral mug that was a gift from my aunt a few years ago. And then I have a stainless steel mug, and I got that from the Target Bullseye section. I'm also adding in some coasters there, and they look like the old book cards. Those cards you would find in the back of a book when you checked it out from the library. I got those from Amazon, and I thought that they were also perfect for this coffee bar. As I move on to the second shelf, I really played around with this one there. So first I added in the little tray that I always include on my coffee bar, as well as my knock box. Ever since I put napkins on my coffee bar a few months ago, I've decided that I want to keep them there because they're so convenient. So I have some beautiful napkins that I got from Home Sense. They have a great selection of cocktail napkins, and they're always very cheap. Also added in a black decorative tray. It has 3 sections, and I filled each one with some coffee caramels. Now that tray does come from the at-home store. Again, it is decorative, and so I am using it as decor, but also in a functional manner by putting some candy inside of it. You'll see me playing around with the placement of things a lot here. So I have 2 beautiful pieces of decor. The first is a sand timer. And when you flip it, it's actually magnetic, so the timer rises or lowers depending on how you position it. I also have a beautiful little globe. Those are both from the at-home store as well. I thought that those were neat to add onto the coffee bar because what I most remember about always reading is that I would truly lose track of time, especially if the book was very captivating. And then I also think that when you love books and when you love to read, it's an ability to open your mind and to accept different perspectives, to be creative, and to learn about different cultures. And so that's why I have the globe there. Finally, I moved on to the little area next to my coffee bar. This is again where I keep a basket filled with some coffee decor. And I also use my larger tray on top of this basket to usually put my water and some other things for the coffee bar. I have a few books that I decided to include this time. The first is a little devotional. So inside that devotional, it has some Bible verses and then blank spaces so that you can reflect. I also have the book Black Water. That is one of my absolute favorite books. It is a suspense and a little crime thriller that I encourage you to look up. I also put on there The Uprising. It's by Stephen Court and Olivia Munn. That is a religious book. It's called A Holy Revolution, and it is really intriguing to read when you're first growing up and developing a relationship with God. I moved the sand timer as well as the globe over to this section to use them as bookends. And then I also put there The Poet X. I first got that book a few years ago, and it is just very intriguing and really makes you think. And the last book I'm including is called My Small Space. This was a gift from my aunt during Christmas, and it has really helped me. Inside that book, it talks about decor, but it also talks about taking ownership and making things your own. So I thought that that was a neat book to include there. So I am just including some of my favorites, some books that I really enjoy and that I will go back to often. Finally, I decided to include my mug candle. So that was just a glass cup I got from Dollar Tree a few years ago. And when one of my candles was running low, I mixed two. They were similar scents of vanilla. And then I poured them into that glass. And I always thought that that was a cute addition to my coffee bar. And so I'm adding it back here again. After playing around with that side area, I did go back to adjusting the main part of the coffee bar. Like I said, I was just playing around a lot, trying to find the right position for things and the right look until I achieved what I wanted. So it almost looks like I started over again on this second shelf, and in a way I did. I decided to add in my espresso set at the back there, and you'll also see I have a bookmark. It says, "Though she be but little, she is fierce," and that is an encouraging bookmark, but it also actually matches a mug I have. My aunt gave me that mug many years ago, and I don't even know if she remembers giving it to me, but I held on to it because I am very little and people like to remind me of that all of the time. And so I just need to remember that I am fierce and I am full of strength. And so the bookmark and the mug are just so encouraging. Now, I'm not displaying the mug here today, just the bookmark, because this is a book-inspired coffee bar and the bookmark goes with it. I also added in a little notebook back there that is in the shape of a mug, and it says warm and cozy on that. And because I switched around that bottom shelf, I did have to adjust my mugs on the top shelf. I do want to point out that that mug in the back there on the top shelf says chillin' out, maxin', relaxin', all cool. I thought that was perfect for a book coffee bar because usually when you're reading, you're chilling out, maxin', relaxin', and all cool. And that was a gift from my friend Jocelyn. This is the final look of my book-inspired coffee bar. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I think it is definitely representative of how I am now, but also nostalgic for my childhood. I hope you guys have liked this video. If you did, I would encourage you to give it a thumbs up and to consider subscribing to the Millennial Farmhouse. I like to share cleaning videos, coffee bars, and seasonal decorating. As you look at the rest of this video and you see the close-ups of the coffee bar, I just want to check in and see what type of books have you been reading? What are some of your favorites? And how are you celebrating National Book Lovers Day? If you're a book lover, join the club. Let me know what's good to read and what I should check out. And again, I hope you've liked this coffee bar. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I will definitely have more like this coming soon. I'm very excited to get into some fall decorating, so hopefully you'll stick with me. And again, I encourage you to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.